Welcome to Alexis Drinks, where we talk alcohol with your favorite people. We're here at Oddbird in Stockton. Let's go see what they're drinking. And welcome back to another episode of Alexis Drinks. We're at Oddbird in Stockton, New Jersey. Really excited to be sitting down with Adam. We've also got some special guests, Matt from Conclave and Max from ANNiHiLATED Homebrew Club.
That's right.
I got their names right. It was top of the mind.
The first two consolations are, consonants are fine, so.
Yeah, listen, we're close.
Yeah.
And thank you, Adam, for having me.
Thanks for coming down.
Really
Thanks,
appreciate
Adam.
it. Love,
Cool.
love this place in the garage
Yes.
that it is.
Yes.
Love your beer, but we're not going to start with your beer. We're going to drink. What are we drinking?
So we're drinking something from Far. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So we're opening a bottle of Dre Fonteinen Golden Blend, which is from. It was bottled in 2016, brewed in 2013, and 25% of it is 4.5-year-old Gueze. So it's about as classic, traditional style you could possibly have, and one of the oldest styles of beer. And it's we're opening it because Armand, the head brewer, blender, brilliant mind behind Dre Fonteinen, just passed away, and got to have a beer with him in Monks, and it was kind of like one of my things that pushed me into really getting crazy to beer in 2010.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, not that he passed, but to drink it in his honor.
Yes.
And I have to say, so I have had beer from them elsewhere, but I have not had as much beer from them elsewhere as I've had here. If that makes any sense.
I'm a big fan. They're true traditional.
I mean,
We're all about traditional brewing
Yeah.
here, even though we're Oddbird. Cool.
So, I mean, that's, ooh, yeah, be first. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not a lady. Oh, ladies first.
That's what okay, there you go, fair enough.
No.
Yeah, there's no way
Here's
Al's not
Al.
just jumping right
Listen, the pour is the most fun to watch. Al, you got yours?
I'm not going to try to do. I'm not going to try to do Armand's pour. He does the whole thing in one fell swoop in every glass. It's fantastic. You check it out on YouTube. He pops open the thing and just pours it across. I've never seen anything. Can't even explain it.
Thank you.
Yeah. That sounds, I just pour it. Or sometimes, so I found since I got into the beer world, I do definitely put beer in glasses more than I used to.
Put them in glasses more than you used to?
I used to just open it
Yeah.
and drink it.
Well, these beers have
Just
to be in
don't in a
glasses.
bottle of this.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, why not?
I respect that.
Yeah, I mean,
One of those canned beers
Ooh.
you can just.
yeah. I mean,
you don't need
but
a
now, and I think I've said this before on the show, that I find myself stuffing my nose deep into and it doesn't now matter what the liquid is in the glass. It doesn't have to necessarily be beer. It's
just a reaction that you do.
It's just a
all the time.
reaction. I'm just used to how does it smell? What does it
It's
smell?
not always a bad thing, I guess, right?
This smells delightful.
This
I feel
stuff
that would give us
smells
the
like
warning
very,
before you have a
tasty.
bad glass of water.
This
Right?
Well, you know what the water's
There's
going to be
iodine
like.
here. There's-
you got me
For
this
the most
bottle.
part.
This is
did.
the bottle you brought me back from Vermont.
Yeah, from
Thanks, Max.
foreign
Thanks,
country
Max.
of Vermont.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
buddy.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, Al. Al refuses to come on camera.
Karen?
Except to get beer. It's wonderful. And Karen, hi.
Yeah, Al Buck, our amazing yeast wrangler in New Jersey.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Almost every beer Oddbird does, except for our IPAs, have his yeast in it. And our Mexican lager.
Not the Mexican. I think that's one of the things that we don't, or at least I don't hear talked about enough, is the yeast. Despite the fact that yeast absolutely has an integral part in how the beer comes out, what it does. I don't even understand. I know that yeast eats carbohydrates and poops alcohol.
Yeah, basic. It's a unique. Yeah,
And alcohol's liquid.
Okay.
Maybe poop isn't though.
maybe it's
You
not healthy.
don't know about it.
Let's not. Okay.
Yeah, I
I
guess
feel
you're right.
this is gonna go down. This is gonna go down
Anyway,
a rabbit hole.
Yeast
that's
is
not-
important, and Al here is
Yes.
a great purveyor
We have
of
derailed.
this
It makes all the difference. Like a good yeast with good water, good ingredients.
I feel
Well,
like that's a good slogan for a Papa John's offshoot.
Yes.
Better yeast, better ingredients. Oddbird.
There you go.
I don't know. I don't think that would market test well.
Yeah.
Papa
I
Adam.
just.
No, let's not.
Yeah.
Papa Adam.
No, I'm here.
Hell no.
I'm here for
Karen, you
that.
gotta try this.
Yeah. So let's tell everyone what we're tasting. Besides fabulous yeast.
Delicious.
That is just.
That's not from Al.
Explain to the folks at home.
Yes.
Honestly, it's just like incredibly balanced. Like just well-aged goose. It's just a sour beer, but just
not?
yeah. It's just basically the equivalent of I don't know. It's hard.
It's
It's hard for me
tart.
to say this. It's like
It feels crispy on my tongue.
Yes.
Sparkly.
Sparkly,
Yeah,
bubbly.
sparkly.
tradition in
Yeah.
a bottle.
Boxy.
Just
Yeah.
old beer style, which done 100% without cutting any corners.
Right.
Like, you know, something that takes 6 years to make.
Well, and
at
you
least.
said, wait, more than 6 years though,
Mhm.
because it was made in 2013?
The first brews were January 2013 and May 2013.
Okay, so like I'm doing some maths.
Yeah.
And that was almost a decade ago.
And then it went into the bottle in 2016, 2017.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's fantastic because you don't think about that. I mean, you know, like a lot of folks, you know, like they buy their beer, they drink their beer.
yeah.
That's it.
So how these guys do it and how all traditional lambics do it is spontaneous fermentation. Basically, they cool ship it, allow the yeast from the air to start fermentation, then put it into barrels that have been used for decades, if not longer, and then the yeast in those barrels continue, and it just develops over time. And we're doing something sort of like that without, we skip the very unknown of spontaneous fermentation, and we use Al's Bug Farm yeast, which a lot of that yeast came from some of these, came from all kinds of shit.
Some have been recultured from lambic bottles
Yep.
and reused and what.
Yeah.
Well, what you guys can't see off camera is as I'm looking at Adam when he talks, there are, what is that, six barrels
Well,
hanging out.
four of the sour ones, so.
Well, I just don't know. I just see six barrels.
Come on.
Yes.
I mean, the barrels.
Actually, there's Dre Fonteinen labels on one of the bottles, one of the barrels, because when we did our first sour malt mixed culture beer, best way to put it, was right after COVID hit. We were like, okay, well, we've got some free time in the brewery because everything was to go. So we went to Alba Vineyards and got some red wine barrels and brewed 8 barrels of beer and put into the barrels and toasted with some old bottles of this and dumped the dregs into one of the barrels, and then
It's just like over there and just like we don't know what it's doing.
yeah, actually we've been pulling samples of it, and it's it's been 2 years now, or it'll be 2 years when it goes into bottles, and some of it's going to go on some local fruit. Not really sure how that's going to work yet. Yeah.
Keep your secrets.
It's gonna be
No
great.
secrets.
I'm just
We
It's
have
gonna
no
be
secrets.
so
here.
good.
So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. It's our homage to this style of beer.
And I'll say it right now, it's going to be amazing when it comes out. Sorry.
We've done it at home. We've done it at home before. Before I opened this place, we had barrels in the cellar for years, and it's been good. We got some.
Yeah. And you said something earlier that kind of caught me because I don't, you know, everyone knows I don't brew beer. I like the drinking part.
That's the
fun.
important part.
Which is a great part for me. You said like reuse the same barrels. I didn't realize.
Oh yeah. Yep. So
Like I know that beers are barrel aged times, but
anything wild it's gonna be better to you can reuse that because the yeast and bacteria and everything will
fun.
Yeah. And anything that has a good culture in it, like if you're not killing it out afterwards and you just rinse and refill, like I mean, one of the coolest like craft beer stories is the story of this one barrel called PH1 that was originally at it was at New Belgium, and they were doing their wild stuff in it, and then they sent that barrel emptied to Russian River, and they did their first spontaneous beers in that barrel, and like that one bottles that came out of the single barrel were like the best ones he ever did, and then it went to 4 or 5 other breweries now. They just pass this empty barrel around
so
to like,
cool.
and it's like that's the kind of stuff I love that kind of shit.
No, I love that story. I love, I always wanted to do again, I make beer.
Yeah.
I just really want to do a thing where people again in Jersey pass around the same barrel and sell it, and unfortunately you can't sell it together, but
Yeah.
it could happen. I just think that's so
It's
collaborative,
cool,
and it's such a good story.
The mythology behind a lot of the stuff is just kind of cool.
The yeast and so
Yeah.
cheers
Cheers.
to Armand. And
Armand.
thank you for the fabulous beer. On that
Lots
note,
of
we have.
fabulous beers.
I drink quickly.
Oh no, that's fine.
Fine.
I'm ready for the next one.
Me too.
Max.
I-
90-second max.
90-second max over here.
Living up to his name.
Showing off.
Listen.
Okay.
More ways than one.
I'm thinking barrel age after. I'm just going with the barrels.
All right,
for
let's
right
do
now,
it.
and
Let's do it.
It's kind of what we're excited about right now. No, I think rushing duck.
All right.
Somewhat close.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually.
This is Karen. I
finish.
don't know if you can see
Yep.
her. Karen.
Co-owner.
Co-owner, fabulous
brains,
person.
amazing person
Yes.
behind this
Fabulous
brewery.
educator.
Yes.
Don't forget that part.
Yeah.
In
So-
a very hard time.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Grab those.
If we're ranking people who have a hardest time, teachers are 100% up there.
Yeah. Karen has 2 full-time jobs here and at school.
3
And
at home with you.
it's not a job.
It's a joy.
Right?
It's a joy.
Aye. So this one's fun. This is a Rushing Duck Brewing out of Chester, New York.
Okay.
This is their part 6 anniversary beer. Each one looks like I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
it.
well,
It looks like Friday the 13th.
Okay,
And they do the
alright.
same thing each time. This couple who are my inspiration or the fact that they did what they did gave us the belief that we could do what we do.
Aw.
Dan and Nikki used to work at Weyerbacher back in 2010, maybe before that. He was the brewer at, or one of the brewers at Weyerbacher. Nikki ran the tasting room. They went and started their own brewery, and he took all of his knowledge of how to do spirit barrels and dark, strong beers to his new place. And they do some of the best in the United States, in my opinion. And we kind of have stolen some ideas from them for some of our stuff. But yeah.
You are paying homage
Yes,
to
yes.
your inspiration.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful people too.
Yes. Nice.
And this is a blend of, I'm not going to get it right. It's a blend of random barrel-aged beers. It's I know that there's some barley wine in this. I know there's some stout in this.
Oh wow. That's wow.
It's basically they do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It is. This one's been in the cellar for a couple of years.
Yes.
So
Again,
this is-
I don't have the kind of
one's out.
patience, the wherewithal.
Karen, you
cellar
got
a
some more
beer
flesh
at
glasses?
all.
Just because putting that in
I
a.
tried.
I sometimes accidentally cellar beers that probably shouldn't be
I'll just
cellared.
put them off camera.
It does happen too.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
have a
you just
case
put
of
them on
Miller High Life I just found in my
in the.
basement 7 years
You
ago.
can still drink it. It's
Karen,
fine.
you want?
It's wonderful.
Yeah, sure. It's
Might
got a
be
nice
better now.
bouquet.
Karen,
Nice
you want
little.
one Yeah.
Oh wow, that
Yeah.
has a.
It's,
There's a nose on that.
It's they.
Even got
So
some
all
teeth.
of our beers, we really strive for balance, and understate. We don't try not to go crazy on anything,
Yeah.
except for our barrel aged stuff, which we kind of took as a hint from these guys. Oh, this one's actually.
Oh, aged. Yep.
Yeah, it's got a. Feel that. I'm soaking this.
Oh my god, you didn't cheers me?
If this one isn't good, then that's.
I know,
my
I'm
own
so
fault.
rude. I'm so rude,
What?
guys.
What?
I just got really excited
fault.
because it smells so nice and it tastes so
It's
nice, and you can
dried,
Oh, okay.
dried grapey
That
fruit
needs to
type.
that needs to open up a little bit.
Okay.
But oof, that is like pure raisins and
Yeah, like
It is
whiskey
delightful.
and
plummy, raisiny whiskey.
Yeah.
this is like 5 years old, I think at this point, 6.
Yeah.
So
And that was part 6, and it
Part
was 5
6.
years old. So there.
no, hold on. I'm gonna screw that up. I feel like
Just go with it.
It's gonna be great. It's part 6. Russian duck.
Russian duck.
Russian duck, which I love. We're gonna take a break and drink this off camera. Sorry, kids. We'll be back with some Oddbird beers. Cheers. Cheers again.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Brew is the app to send and receive drinks. Buying a drink with Brew is easy. First, select a recipient, choose the location, and then pick a drink from their menu and send it out. It's easy to stay connected with the people you care about with Brew. Whether it's a birthday or promotion, or just because, sending a drink with Brew is great for any occasion. When someone buys you a drink, you'll receive a notification with the details, and the drink will be stored in the app until you redeem it. When you're ready to redeem a drink, follow the prompts and show the bartender the confirmation screen. Once your drink is received, close it out on the app and say thanks. Then, cheers! You just received your first drink on Brew. Available for download on the App Store and Google Play Store.
Oh man. Whoops.
Hey guys.
What did I do?
Nothing. We're back. We are drinking some Grandma's Campfire.
Yeah.
I know. Oddbird beer. I'm really excited about it.
The Wick.
The Wick.
So this beer is it's our smoked helles. It's 100% Rauch malt with East Coast Yeast, Munich Fest beer yeast, and lagered for 9 weeks or something. It is a very unique beer, is the best way to put it.
And I know only a small backstory of this is y'all got together over Christmas break.
So on,
I don't remember the day, but it was.
it was
around that
it
time.
was the day before. I think it was.
Oh, yeah, you're right, it was.
Christmas
Right
Eve,
before-
or it
yeah,
was
it was
right
right
before
before
Christmas.
Yeah.
Matt was. Everybody was off except for me. So I'm
When
like,
everyone's off but you.
Pretty sure I worked that morning and then came.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, listen.
so we all got together. It was Bryan from Kane, previous brewer at Conclave, amazing
man.
amazing
His
brewer.
job, Matt stole.
Yeah.
Took it.
No,
Matt
I didn't.
from,
Keeping on his legacy.
Matt from Conclave, Max came over, Max has brewed with me a bunch of times, and Al came over, and
'Cause we
Al
found his
and
yeast.
a bunch of people were just kind of hanging out and drinking.
Drinking these fun
Yeah,
bottles.
drinking weird Phantom stuff while we were brewing this beer. Just a super easy, old Bamberg style Helles lager. Yeah.
And you pronounce it Rausch beer.
A Rauch beer, yes. Who John Hall was supposed to be here today, but
That jerk. I think
Feel better, buddy.
I think he is blowing us off.
I think he is
he's
too.
just I think it was like
Absolutely.
he manufactured getting sick. It's
Yeah.
fine.
He's got a far ride, right?
Metuchen?
I don't know where that is.
We
but
just like
it's all
love where
good.
he lives.
My
But
favorite name of a city in New
Me
Jersey.
touching? Of course it is.
I took the train there
Ho-Ho-Kus.
just to touch stuff.
What
in
about Takaho?
Isn't Ho-Ho-Kus
fine.
or
I don't know what
something
that
like
means.
that? Is that one of them?
Ho-Ho-Kus is fun.
Yeah, that's a good
Fun.
one.
So just for y'all following at home, this smells gorgeous. It smells incredibly smoky. It truly smells like your clothes after you spent about 10 hours next to a
Or-
good campfire.
If
Which
you
I'm-
go on Untapped, it is all smells like Kibasi, 1 out of 5 stars.
1 out of 5 stars.
I don't like smoke beer, 1 out of 5 stars.
But I
I
mean,
hate this style.
the
It's
attention.
terrible.
Anyway.
The attention to detail. I mean,
Oh.
Yeah.
I can see right
Yeah.
into
Well,
that camera
it's
Clear lager.
gorgeous.
through this glass,
Yeah.
which is
We are
a
anti-haze.
testament to the
No.
man that makes this beer.
Well, and that's something, and it's gorgeous. It tastes gorgeous.
It's a fun beer with food. It's a
Yeah.
fun beer for just hanging out.
I'm dribbling. Nobody
It is a
pays
weird
attention.
beer, but it's good.
That's an interesting way to describe it.
Yes.
It is a weird beer.
Yeah.
But if this is something that
No.
really, if it's something that gets you going, like
Yeah.
if it's a style of beer that you like and have a real good taste for, I mean, this is a beer that
Yes.
this beer is. I'm gonna say it. I don't love smoked beers, Sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay,
But
you
this
don't have to love them.
Beer is awesome.
No, I mean it is. It's gorgeously balanced. And it's one of those things where you can taste exactly like what's in it, but it's not overpowering.
It's definitely not overbearing.
I would say that this is a great, and I hope the folks following at home love me for this, but this is a great gateway to Roush beers.
Yeah.
I would give this to anyone who's like, I don't understand, I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Yes.
What do you mean you smoke a beer? Like all of these things. I'd be like, well, you go to Oddbird, ask them for the Wick,
There you go.
taste it.
And we'll talk about this one all day. I love talking about this beer.
No, it's beautiful.
This beer actually started as an argument between Bryan from Kane and myself. Him telling me that I could not do a Roush beer with 100% smoked malt. So it was during COVID. We did the first batch, and I'm like, well, I'm going to do it now and if I only brought one keg home and dumped the rest down the drain and had it for myself, it'd be okay. But it went over well, so people were asking for it again, so we did it again.
So Bryan is a wrong loser without a job. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
Well,
he is.
because he didn't come. Bryan, we love you. You're so great. You're like stellar.
He's going to be a rock star in the brewing
Yeah.
industry. That's my theory.
I would like to point out that I also lost in that argument.
Oh,
Yes, I think you
Max.
told me that I couldn't do this too.
No, I didn't. I told you could. But what happened was you said you couldn't because of the argument, and I was promised a keg for my house.
Oh yeah.
And you sold out before I could get one.
I'll give you one.
To give you an idea of how good it is, it's sold so quickly that Adam cannot honor its promises.
I am a terrible human being.
Yeah. How dare you, sir?
It did, like, honestly, I thought we were going to be sitting on this for forever, and people really liked it.
Because it's gorgeous. I mean,
It's a fun beer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and again, you know.
Alexis, you had said something before we started re-recording about how it reminded you of something, which was very nice. I think.
Yeah, it reminds. So my grandmother had a house in Goshen, New York, and she had it like several acres of land, and we would have these big fires on it. I don't know what type of wood we were burning, but like it totally reminded. It like immediately transported me. Even to her fireplace in her home, like it was just like it was like, oh, this is Grammy. This is like this moment, and yeah, it was lovely.
It's a nice memory.
Love it.
It's a great memory, and it's a great beer. And again, the clear beer. I love the movement toward the clearer, more delicate beers.
It's an art.
It is an art form, and I personally, in my uneducated opinion, think it's an expression of the maturity of the industry in New Jersey. That you're seeing so many more of these like really interesting styles that are not necessarily known in the craft beer in New Jersey world.
Yeah.
That like folks are flexing their muscles and trying them and then executing them so beautifully as like such a great testament to like what we're doing what you guys are doing. I'm not doing anything.
Well, we try to do a lot of lagers. We have 3 lagers on right now and 1 IPA. We try to do a lot of classic styles because we have people like Conclave that are 20 minutes from us, and they can brew like a New England style IPA way better than I ever could. And like honestly, it's like some of the best New England style IPAs in the state, in my opinion. Gravitational Waves is really good. I'm not an IPA person. I like that beer.
I wasn't, and then y'all made me one.
Yeah.
I kept telling people, oh, I don't drink IPAs, and they kept being like, well, try this one.
Yeah, Karen, our co-owner, is the IPA person, and she has her way. So we actually have at least 1 to 2 IPAs.
I feel like there's a correlation between gin drinkers and IPA drinkers. I could be wrong, but I mean, I don't drink gin either. But
Actually, Karen's IPA here, Beefeater gin on the rocks at home.
I could never do the gin either.
I feel like it's a spruce thing, right? It's a spruce thing. People like the taste of spruce, and that's why they like IPAs and gin.
To me, it smells how like cologne would taste. If that makes sense. I could never do it. Sorry, Karen. I can. Fair enough.
Nice. Fair.
Fair enough.
And I was promised another beer. I mean,
Yes.
we're still working on this, but like there's a beer that has something in it.
This is
I'm
going to
very
take a few
excited about
seconds.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is. And in the meantime, so like, yes, one of the things, I was here a year and a half ago, maybe. I'm sure you totally remember exactly what I drank.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. It's fine. Max does. Max remembers everything I've ever done.
Oh yeah.
But it was so great. Again, it was like one of those, it was an English something, but it was bready and light.
Oh, probably ESB. Maybe our ESP?
No. Maybe it might not have even been English.
Bottom.
I don't know. I just like I had a friend who
You
like
can't remember?
I can't.
I'm trying to think what we would do that was, so we try to hit German-style beers, British-style beers, Belgian-style beers, and American-style beers, but 100% traditional ones.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We're not doing anything new. We're not doing anything kind of crazy. So this beer is, I don't know what that would have been.
I want to say it was English. I could have been wrong. I feel like there was a special something going on with it. Like it came out of a different tap, maybe.
Oh, it might have been our, actually, you know what? It was probably an English bitter on handful.
Yes!
Yes. And I think that was at last. It was the beer.
That's the one I was trying to
It was a version of our ESB that I brewed to celebrate the fact that I quit my job that I hated.
Yeah! Woo!
Right, Adam.
Yes. So.
Cheers
to that, bro.
Cheers to that. Cheers.
Yeah.
I like to brew it one
Cheers
day.
to good times.
Cheers. Yes.
90 seconds.
90
seconds of good time.
bliss.
Wow.
Don't take us home, or do, depending on your preferences. But yeah, no, I had texted a friend. I was like, oh my god, you have to come to Oddbird. Like he lives in Bordentown, so it's
Okay,
that's not that far.
Yeah, and like he's very much not into the IPA scene. He's like
Yeah.
very much into like more traditional, beer styles. And I was like, you have to come to Oddbird. Like, please come. Like, again. So for me, as someone who came into beer in fruited wheats, or like Avery White Rascal was like my.
Oh yes, nice.
Yeah, I mean it was a
Love it.
gorgeous,
That's
it was a
awesome.
gorgeous way to come into
Yeah.
beer, right?
Yes,
And I had no
that's-
idea.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was.
I've had a beer so long.
Oh my god, that's such a good one. I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. I like such a soft, wonderful spot in my heart for Avery.
Yes.
Because I was handed an Avery White Rascal, and I would just like drank it, and I was like, what is this? And the guy was like, it's beer. I was like, no, I've had beer. This is something else. So like wheat beers and like grain forward beers
Yes.
were like the things that I connected to
Yeah.
so much. And I feel like that's so much of the traditional styles tend to be grain forward.
Oh yeah.
And so like coming to places that do that, like
So is that Avery beer something that if it's on tap anywhere, that's the first thing that you'll
I don't
get?
think they make
They-
it anymore.
Oh, they don't
No,
make it anymore? Well, if it
Oh, I
was
haven't
something
seen
that they
it.
made, just say it.
don't-
Yeah,
Hypothetically
yeah.
speaking.
Question.
If you were at a bar.
Yeah.
So like
So good,
so
by
for
the
sure
way.
I was
It's great.
in Denver for CBC 2019 or 20.
Cool.
Something like that.
2019 had to be.
Something like that.
Yeah. And like there's this burrito place called Illegal Pete's,
Okay.
and it makes like such good burritos, and they had Avery on tap, a White Rascal on tap, and I was just like, because I used to live in Colorado.
Okay.
So I was just like, I'm home. It was like this amazing. Yes, I've never seen Avery on tap on the East Coast. I remember like I moved back to New
Honestly, never paid
Jersey.
attention. How'd that-
No, I haven't seen Avery ever on tap anywhere
Yeah.
here, which is a damn
Remember they were
travesty.
like, what was that, like
Maharaja.
Maharaja?
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Well, and I love to tell this story about I learned how to drink craft beer in Colorado.
Yeah.
And Avery at the time had this. Hey, Al's coming into the
All
frame.
right, Al.
So
Thanks, Al.
exciting.
A giant hawk just flew right past the garage door. It was
Al
pretty cool.
was a giant hawk.
Yes,
No.
yes.
The oddest.
What's in this
bird.
beer?
So at the time, because it was 2006-ish, Avery wasn't big enough to have its own tasting room.
Okay.
So they would have this strong ale fest, but they would have it at this bar called Harpo's Pub in Boulder.
Thank
That like my ex's best friend was the manager of. So we would go, and I at the time was basically just drinking White Rascal and like any fruited beer. The Mountain Sun would do this raspberry wheat beer that I fucking loved, and I drank all these like 8% and higher bourbon barrel aged on a 10, a 20, and 30 year Maharaja, all these. I had no idea what I was drinking. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. Today, Alexis is like, what the F were you doing?
The Beast is still one of the craziest beers I've ever had from them. That was
Oh,
like
yeah.
a 17 or Mephistopheles. That was it.
That's the one. Mephistopheles
I can't believe I
aged
said
on a
that.
10,
That was
20, and
perfect.
30
I was
Yeah.
never going to try to say that one.
year barrel.
Yeah, it was
You both just said it.
wild. It was like
Perfect.
Yeah.
That was good.
19% or
Yeah,
something
no,
ridiculous.
it's a beer. Anyway, so back to New Jersey and the wonderful things that Oddbird's doing.
Absolutely.
We have Berliner Weiss.
Berliner Weiss.
Yeah.
Traditional Berliner Weiss. Does not have a name.
Ooh.
Something you're not going to get anywhere else.
No, no,
Should be the same. So it should be.
So basically, we always made fruited sours, but our fruited sours are not like you'd see in a lot of other places because they're 100% fermented out. They're not kettle soured. Active
Smells so
bacteria in everything.
It smells amazing. What's happening here?
We have a tank that's just dedicated to just bugs and just whatever owls stuff.
Ow.
And
I totally fucked up.
what? Oh,
I put the passion fruit in with the woodruff instead of.
oh, that's gonna be cool.
That's why it
So
smells
we're
so
not
interesting.
drinking the Berliner Weiss, we're drinking.
Well, we are.
Oh, wait,
Wow,
wait,
that smells
wait.
incredible.
It smells amazing.
Yeah.
So wait, what are we drinking?
Okay,
exactly?
this is-
Karen, you gotta come over here and explain it to us.
Yeah.
Sorry, friend.
Well, okay, cool.
Here comes Karen.
Well, we're gonna
did
have
it
to. We're
this
gonna get.
Here, would you like to take my seat?
Nope.
No, I did this the other
Yeah, so
day
we had a
too.
passion fruit sour that I accidentally, because I don't usually drink this much when I'm just like pouring beers for people, and I totally just poured the wrong beer.
Well,
but it's with a woodruff syrup,
happens
so
to
it's,
the best
it's
of us.
passion fruit, and then the kind of like marshmallowy vanilla-ness of like the woodruff syrup.
So
Yeah, well,
That-
thank you.
That's
Thank
actually-
you so
did
much.
you try
Very
it?
excited about it.
No.
it's
It
really
smells
good.
amazing.
So, basically, what it is,
I was waiting for that.
it's our fruited sours are 100% fermented out. They're Berliner Weiss based. They're 50% wheat, 50% barley, lactobacillus, and then finished with Kolsch yeast. The one that we put fruit in it, let it ferment out, and then go with it. And this one had passion fruit in it. As everyone knows, everything's getting insanely expensive, and fruit is really getting
that's like the top
insanely
of the list.
expensive. Yes. So the passion fruit has like tripled in price. So we kind of are using this as a good gateway to going back to our roots and just doing traditional sour beers, which is a Berliner Weiss, which we can get another pour of. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
we're gonna.
It'd be fun.
Even if we don't make it,
Yeah.
we're gonna have it. Whether
Yeah, you got to
guys
try
see
it.
or
Yeah.
not.
So basically, that one is 3.7%, and then it's aged like it's treated like a lager, basically. It has Brettanomyces in it, which is a wild type yeast, or it's a more I don't know how to explain it, like
Non-traditional?
non-traditional yeast, which there's a lot of interesting esters, a lot of like weird flavors in a good way.
In a
So-
great way.
Yeah.
So we make that beer, and that beer traditionally in Berlin, which when Karen went with her mother to Berlin a couple of years ago, came back and was like, okay, we had Berliner Weiss in Berlin. They serve it with this green syrup in it, and it is incredible.
One of the
We need to
coolest
get
cities
this.
in the world, by the way.
Very excited about it.
So we ordered a case of our woodruff syrup, which is an green herbal syrup, which tastes like marshmallows and vanilla and
All
but
good
not
He's lying. It's absinthe.
yes.
We're all
we
tripping later. It should be
Done
great.
that.
I'm just kidding. It's not
We
absinthe.
should
I'm
have
just
laced
kidding.
this with absinthe.
Yes.
Just kidding.
We have absinthe at home. But anyway,
Who made it?
I can't remember. It's a French one, and it's like it's wildly good.
Go to Adam and Karen's house later.
Yes.
I've invited myself over.
So when we normally we have our Berliner Weiss, we serve it with woodruff syrup, and it's just insanely refreshing, and it's
Yeah, it's lovely.
it's a very old beer style, but it's a very good beer style for people. When somebody comes in, it's like, I don't like beer. What do you got?
Oh yeah, no,
Try
this
this.
is
There
perfect.
you go.
Well, and I love
It's
like
really good with the passion fruit.
Such an interesting juxtaposition between the smoked Helles and the passion fruit Berliner Weiss with this syrup. Like it's very different, but it also like they both very much work. And I would recommend them to anybody,
You know,
whatever they're like.
I will say too, the one fun thing about what you literally just said is a lot of times when people come in here and they are curious and they will try things and they'll get something kind of out of their realm, whether it's the Wick or the Berliner Weiss, they always try it in the first sip. They kind of like take a step away from the bar, look back and say, that's really good.
I love that
I haven't had
reaction
anything
thing.
different
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
And it's
Yeah.
like, it's that reaction that's always so kind of fulfilling to see.
Yeah,
and like see it in real life and be like,
absolutely.
yeah, we have that here. And it's incredible.
I have a beer for you.
Right.
Yeah.
This is shit. And just walk away.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's one of the things.
You're gonna get
smoke
them.
ever
You're
had.
gonna get
One
them
at a
too,
time.
though. Unfortunately, you know, you're gonna get those too.
Trash.
I hate traditional beers. 1 out of 5. No, I mean,
I can see through this.
There's no gummy bears in this beer.
I don't understand. No, this is glorious. For you guys following at home, we're gonna wrap this up. We may or may not have a podcast part 2. We don't know. Wherever Rich is, it might happen, it might not. But stay tuned for us, Adam, Karen, Matt, Max. I'm so excited that I did that the right way. Al, love you. Thank you so much for your yeast. We'll be back at some point. Thank you.